I'm on a mission to own every LEGO modular building by the end of 2025. I have 13 of the 20 currently, which means I've got 7 to go. There are 7 months remaining in the year, which means I need to buy 1 per month between now, at the end of the year, and this month I've decided to cheat. And this is planned cheating. Last month we got a pre-owned version of the Fire Brigade, and this month I've decided to go right back to where it all began, Cafe Corner. But to buy a brand new in-box copy of Cafe Corner, you're looking at like £2,500 to £3,000, even for a used set in box with instructions and minifigures and all of that kind of stuff. You're looking at well over £1,000. I don't have that kind of money, especially when even after this, I'll still have 6 more modulars that I need to buy before the end of the year. So, like I say, I'm cheating. I've gone to Rebrickable, and on Rebrickable, an absolute hero, specifically this absolute hero, whose page is being featured on the screen now, has redesigned Cafe Corner for 2024. We may be a year late doing this, but the point still remains that by redesigning it for 2024, they've taken out all of the old parts that you can't get anymore, that have got really expensive, that are no longer in production, and basically redesigned the entire building with parts that are readily available to buy from LEGO Pick-a-Brick in 2024. And not only are they readily available at LEGO Pick-a-Brick, they're also available on Bricklink even cheaper. So I've spent the last month or so assembling together multiple Bricklink orders, specifically 6 Bricklink orders. This is just shy of 2,000 Lego pieces from 6 different Bricklink sellers. One of these is from as far afield as Thailand. I think another one is from Australia. I did manage to track down a couple in the UK. Total cost, including shipping and handling, for these 6 packages of Lego, £229, which I'm sure we can all agree is a lot less than the £1,000 plus for a used copy of Cafe Corner, and a lot less than £2,500 to £3,000 for a brand new in-box one. Now, does this mean I won't actually officially achieve the goal and have a full complete set by the end of the year? Does it, Niblets? I'm happy. I say it counts, and it's my Lego City. No. And let's face it, at some point in the future, when I might be a little bit flusher with cash, I may well go and get a new in-box one and add that to the city as well. And because this is a redesigned version of it, they'll look ever so slightly different, and we'll just have 2 and it will all be fine. But this one, as far as I'm concerned, ticks off Cafe Corner. One thing to bear in mind is that price of £229 doesn't include the cost of the Mills plate. That's an extra like £15 to £20 on top of that. So we're still doing it for less than £250, but of course we don't have the minifigs. So £250, but with no minifigs, and with it being Cafe Corner, no interior to the building either. So we're gonna have to do some modifications of it to give it an interior so it doesn't look weird in the city. So it will still need a little bit of work. We'll need to add some life to it in terms of an interior and some minifigures, but as far as I'm concerned, being able to do one of my most wanted Lego sets, and to the untrained eye for it to look exactly right for £250, less than £250, I'm very happy. What I'm less happy about is the fact that I now need to sort through 6 packages of Lego, 2,000 pieces, and put them in some kind of order that I can then use to build from. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do that. I'm going to sit and do that whilst watching an episode of House on my iPad, and I'll probably see you in a day or two in a different t-shirt with it all nicely sorted when I start the build. But there we go, Cafe Corner incoming. But there we go, roughly 45 minutes later, we are all sorted. We've got 2 little trays of bricks in various sizes and colours, both 1x and 2x. Didn't really feel the need to sort those in too much detail because they're big and chunky. This is all of our plate. When I actually get going, I run out of boxes. I'll probably take all these big pieces of plate off the top to allow me access to the smaller 2x plate. There isn't actually a base plate in this design. I didn't realise when I was buying the parts, but we've got these 4 plates that the Rebrickable builds on. I'm going to turn these into a Mills plate, so I need to get a base plate and some 2x2 bricks to do that, but that can go over there. This is all our window and door stuff. All of our unusually shaped brick is in there. All of the 1x stuff that is going to be really fiddly to find is in there. That is our 1x plate, and something just fell out of it. That's going to be fun during the build. Ha! And then we've also got all of the tile as well in there. So I'm now just going to get all this stacked up and put to one side because it is 10 past 10 at night. So I'm going to bed. But next time you see me, I will be ready to start building. Or we should, in the very near future, have a fully functional cafe corner-ish. I do need a base plate. I don't have any here. They're all at the city. So can't start tonight, even if I wanted to, because I have no base plate. I guess I could build it just straight onto these as per the design, but then I'd have to mount these to the base plate afterwards, and that just feels like a recipe for disaster. So it's a good excuse for me to go to bed and get a base plate from the city tomorrow. Well, folks, we're about 24 hours later. I have my base plate that I picked up from the Lego store. I've got my little bag of 2x2 bricks that I brought back from the city. So I am ready to put another episode of House from 20 years ago on my iPad and crack on with trying to get the ground floor done before I go to bed this evening. I think that's a reasonable plan. Cue the time lapse.
And we're always learning when we're doing stuff like this. And what I've learned with this one is that I need to sort my pieces into bigger pots or more pots, maybe do a little bit more sorting, because so much of this time lapse is me searching for pieces rather than actually building with the pieces after I found them. So I've really cranked up the speed. This is like double the speed of what a normal time lapse would be. But when I was watching it back on normal speed, goodness me, so much of it was just me searching around in the pots, trying to find the bits that I needed. But as you can see, once we got going, we are making some pretty decent progress. We've got all of the pavement tile in, including where we spell out the word cafe, which is quite nice. Now we're just getting in some walls and a really weird staircase that I already am not a massive fan of.
Well, we're going to have to abort for tonight because we've had a broken piece. One of these specifically, you can see that it is broken. Can you see that it's broken? There you go. You can see that it is broken on the end, which means I can't attach this door. There doesn't seem to be any other spares. I've just been looking down in Anna's stock of pieces downstairs. Can't find any down there either. So I'm going to have to raid the bigger stock that we've got in the city. But it's basically, this is how this is going to go on, and this will be the door. But it's, yeah, that's just completely snapped off now. I mean, it can sort of hold on for now, but this is where we've got to. We are closing in on finishing the downstairs. The staircase is weird because it's only attached on one side, so it's very, very wibbly wobbly. I don't know if it was like that on the original cafe corner. I need to have a look at the instructions for that at some point, but it's only attached to one side, so it just feels very, very loose. You're not going to want to put anything on those stairs. And obviously we know it is an empty interior on cafe corner, so weirdly we're just going to get the walls in and then leave it, I guess, empty with green base plate in, which seems mad. I can't imagine if I'd have spent a couple of grand on getting a legitimate one to just have that as the interior. I'd have been so disappointed. I'm very glad I've gone down this route, but it is taking a while because so many of the pieces are similar colours and similar pieces, and there's so many pieces at the moment. It's taken a long time to root through. The deeper into it I get, the fewer pieces I'm searching through each time, so it will start to speed up. But this has taken me probably the best part of 2 hours to get to this point, which is longer than it blooming should have done, that's for sure. But we'll leave it there for tonight, and I'll pick this up again maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Makes no difference to you. It'll be the next time you see me, I'll be building this again. It's now the next day, and looking at this with some fresh eyes, I still haven't been to the city to pick up the piece that I need, but I think I can carry on the build. I don't need to just sit here and wait. It's holding in. I can easily replace that. So I think we just carry on. As you can see, I've tidied everything away because we've just done a stream in here, but I'm not tired. I'm a big boy, so I can do a bit of this for an hour before I go to bed. I think that's reasonable. We do have to spread it out across the table again. Goodness me, does it take up a lot of space, but let's continue. I want to get this, at least the bottom floor, done before I go to bed tonight. That's my plan.
I don't know who this guy thinks he's fooling, pretending he's not tired. We've literally just seen him from the night before look for any excuse to stop the build because he was so tired. I mean, that broken piece hasn't magically fixed itself, but that door's holding fine around about now. But as you can see, we are continuing with the weird staircase, getting some of that nice detailing on around that front door, and it is starting to take shape.
I'm starting to see the problem with these redesigned, reimagined sets, and that is the same problem I had when we did the Block Party HQ, and that is people who aren't Lego make mistakes. I thought it was just me. I don't know if this is the person who I bought off of on Bricklink or the person who's designed this on Rebrickable, but I'm trying to do this section for this bit above the door where we need one of these that goes around in an arch with a load of these sticking on to do the star shape. The problem we've got is the black thing that I've got, and it's the only black thing like this, is not nearly long enough to actually fit there, which means we can't put the star shape thing on, which is kind of an iconic feature of Cafe Corner. So now I need to work out what this is called and find a way to get a bigger one. I don't think I have any bigger ones in the collection anywhere. So we're probably going to be waiting for a Bricklink order. Like I say, it's a long way from ideal. But it's 11:05. Dave's barking. So I'm going to go and deal with him, go to bed, and figure out what to do in the morning. Well, I've had a couple of days to get over the grumpiness of this. I've ordered the next size up and the next 5 sizes above that, all off of Bricklink, so they should be here in a day or two. I did them from UK sellers, first class post, so I think we just leave these bits to one side and carry on with the rest of the build, and it should be fine. I did want to draw attention as well to the fact that I've had to use my own door frame on this as well. That white door frame was out of my own parts collection because for the second build in a row, using a Bricklink seller, they've sent me the wrong size door frame. Last time with the Block Party HQ, it was the right size door frame, wrong size doors. This time, most of them are the right size, but this one is just smaller than the others. So I think I've made my mind up off the back of these two frustrations that the next build that I do, I'm going to try, again, in the interest of science, buying all the parts from Lego Pick-a-Brick online, because theoretically they should get everything right, and that is my scientific way of deciding whether it's the Bricklink sellers who are a little bit hit and miss and are getting it wrong, or whether it's the rebrickable designers who are a little bit hit and miss with their parts lists and getting it wrong. Obviously, the more scientific way I could do it would be to test this actual set like that, but I'm not going to do that. If the next set works fine and is still reasonably priced, then I guess that's my way of doing it from now on. Plus, of course, buying it all from Lego, we get all brand new pieces, which certainly has an appeal to it as well. But I'm going to carry on with this and just ignore that part. Also this, again, in the interest of getting brand new pieces, the little grip on this, you can see because it's old, if I try and put this on the bottom half here, it does just fall straight off. It's got no grip on it. So it's another piece that's going to need replacing. I kind of have to balance it on that top one. But as you saw there, any kind of jolt or movement and it does fall off anyway. So I think some of the pieces that I've got are a little worse for wears. The problem you get with buying used parts off of Bricklink. So that's another piece that I do need to replace as well. It's not ideal.
Stingy Kev with his moan out of the way. Let's get this bottom floor finished. There's not much to do, just these little canopies, and that is the downstairs complete.
This is by no means going smoothly. This keeps falling off, so we're just accepting that needs replacing. And now these are the wrong pieces. These are supposed to be 3x3s in this colour, but with the curved edge on one side. There's definitely none of them in any of these parts, but there are 2 of these in the right colour and the right size, so I can only assume this has got to be an error from the person on Bricklink. I've ordered a 3x3 orange plate with a rounded edge, and they've just read 3x3 orange plate and put these in. I think we might still be okay. These are for the little tables that go out the front here. I think they'll still fit as they are. But it's becoming frustrating that stuff that I'm ordering isn't coming correctly. I think I probably need to get into the habit of properly checking through my Bricklink orders when they arrive, and actually making sure that everything that's supposed to be in there is in there, and marking it off against my original list. Because it doesn't lend itself to a pleasant build experience. There you go. They do fit in fine like that, so it's not the end of the world that they're not curved, but it's also not how the design was. And I'm now sat here as I'm building it thinking, how much is an easy Lego building experience worth to me? Obviously, in the case of Cafe Corner, it's a unique situation. I'm not going to pay £2,000 for this set no matter what. But for stuff like, for example, the Town Hall, which would probably cost me £700, I think, to buy new in box, or maybe £400 to buy the parts for, is knowing I've got everything right, it all comes right, it's all from Lego and it's all fine. Is that worth £300 to me? It's starting to be something to ponder then. But at least those tables are okay.
Okay, so I squeezed in one more moan, but I think the downstairs really is done this time.
And there we go. We have a complete ground floor with our little table and chairs that aren't tied down or pinned down in any way. The chairs just rest on there, but we've got a little bench and a little lamppost around there. It's nice. I mean, it is nice. It's completely empty. I'm going so up and down on this set. I'm so glad I didn't spend all that money on it. But at the same time, I think it is pretty cool. And it's got to look cool when it's on display in the city. And we get the fun of deciding what to put in it. The chairs, though. Why would the chairs just be sat on there loose? Let's build the next floor up. And obviously, we're waiting for that part so we can do this bit as well.
And thankfully, now that I've built basically half of the build, it suddenly becomes that much quicker and easier to find the pieces in the boxes. Although I have no idea why at this stage of the build I felt it was a good idea to stack them and have to move them around every time I was looking for parts. That must have added some time to the build, but you can see this floor is very quickly and very nicely coming together. It was a little bit repetitive in places. I think there was 10 of those little columns that were all absolutely identical. And then just basically building a wall around the back, obviously still no interior. But I think the end result, it does look very pretty. I really do like the way it's looking.
Well, as predicted, we're really picking up the pace. Now I've got less pieces to go through. We've finished the second floor as well, and it is starting to look really, really cool. I know I was a little negative about this early on, but I am starting to really like how it's looking. We've got another, let's just push those bits off on there. The chairs have gone as well. I'm really liking the fact we've got all these empty areas to put stuff in. Please use the comment section to let me know what I should be putting on each of the floors. Obviously, I guess we need a cafe down on the bottom floor. But what goes on this floor? It looks great. I really am liking how it's looking. Just need to do one more floor now, which it is 10 o'clock at night. So probably not going to do that now. I'm going to go and check with Anna to find out what time bedtime is tonight. If she's fully involved in a build of her own, we might get this done tonight. Otherwise, it might be a job for another day. And to be honest, it's not going to be completely finished today anyway, because obviously we need to do that bit at the front. But I am much happier with it now than I was like an hour and a half ago when I was being a Mr. Grumpus.
And boys and girls, we are cooking with gas now. Look at me go, finding the pieces almost as quickly as I can build them. I've not even had to speed this up. This isn't a time lapse. This is real time how I was building at this point, because the pieces were so much easier to find. And I really like the way we've got the little windows kind of embedded into the ceiling on this one. It does mean this is a slightly lower build than some of the other ones in the city, but I like that variation in height that we're going to get as a result. I think it fits in nicely.
Well, it turns out Anna was deep into doing a build of her own downstairs, so I have done the next floor up. It's gone 11 o'clock at night now, so I won't be getting this finished this evening. But yeah, we are. I mean, it's looking a lot like Cafe Corner now. We still need to put the roof on it. We still need to put the famous hotel sign out the front as well. So we've got a few pieces left. These chairs, I'm going to need I mean, obviously, once it's in the city, they're not going to be moving around very often. But yeah, we are we are getting there, and it is looking awesome. And it's so much simpler to do when there's fewer pieces. I certainly get why Lego switched to having numbered bags with not loads of pieces in. You forget how annoying older sets used to be. Another day, another plain, boring old man t-shirt. We're going to finish this bad boy off. We just need to get the roof on. We are still waiting for the post to arrive so that I can finish off the front, so it won't get completely done, but the roof will get done. We've not got many pieces left. Then we'll just be waiting for the post to arrive, and it will be ready to go in the city. I think it's looking great.
And I was convinced this last step was roof and hotel sign, but apparently no hotel sign. I clearly need to pay closer attention to the instructions.
And with that, we are just about done. Obviously, still got to wait for those bits, or that bit, so that I can do the front. Weirdly, got all these pieces left over, so not really sure how I've managed that, because I ordered exactly what was on the parts list. So there's like 4 of these, a whole load of bricks. So I have no idea how I've managed to order all of that stuff that apparently I didn't need. I've also noticed, which I can't believe I didn't notice on the original Rebrickable, but it isn't there. It doesn't have the hotel sign, the iconic hotel sign. Obviously, you have the shape around the front and the hotel sign. So I'm going to have to do an addition to it and add the hotel sign on. There are other differences, quite a lot of differences between this and the original Cafe Corner. Like I said at the start, the whole idea was to do it on a budget and do a modernized version of it using pieces that are currently available. I think at a glance, it would definitely pass. But the first thing you'd then notice is, whoa, where's the hotel sign? So we need to get that on. But I'll now wait for that piece to arrive so that we can just finish off the front, and then we'll have a proper look at it and get it placed in the city. And there we go, folks. Through the magic of rummaging through the parts that we already had a white one, so it's supposed to be black with the white bits on. I think it looks fine like that. I don't think that needs replacing. So that is my finished 2020, it's a 2023 design, I think, the 2023 redesign of Cafe Corner. This is the person on Rebrickable who did it. I forget their name, but I'll put their page up on screen now if you want to go and get it. It's free instructions on Rebrickable. They're not charging for the update. And like I say, it's a much cheaper way to be able to put together something that I think is a passable Cafe Corner. The one thing I wish it had is the hotel signs. I think that is one of the most iconic features of it, but it's got the cool frontage, it's got the little tower bit at the top, and I think at a glance you'd be like, oh, Cafe Corner. So this is definitely going to go into the Lego City as is. One day I would love to have it accompanied by an official original Cafe Corner. I don't think I'd take this one out. I think it's different enough for them both to have a place further down the line. But I think this is officially Cafe Corner ticked off for my 2025 mission to collect all of the Lego modulars. This is close enough for my taste. Let me know down in the comments what you think. But I think that looks great. Now I just need to take it to the Lego City, I guess, next time I'm there, and find a spot for it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, this little exploration of a cheaper way to get the most expensive Lego modular. I've saved about £2,000 by doing this, and I certainly don't think the additional £2,000 would make it £2,000 better. So on that basis alone, I'm happy. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up on it for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.